Hey travel besties, I am back and today I'm going to be sharing with you my actual itinerary from my recent girls trip to Nairobi / the Masai Mara in Kenya. So I have to say today you can call me Miss Doing Too Much with the hat. You know, I got the rugby jersey on, like I'm really feeling good, but to be honest, I didn't really have time to be doing all that lace. So disclaimer, I just recently relocated. There's still clothes and things in boxes. So let's just pretend that you don't see any of that. Okay, so we're just gonna roll with it. Yeah, going on this girls trip to Nairobi, fantastic. In total, it was a 10-day trip. And I brought along with me 3 of my girlfriends from the States, and we planned it maybe as early as April, maybe even before that. Maybe we started around March, April 2023, and our actual trip took place in end of August, early September. That was the high season of migration, animals out there, whatever. It was so fun. However, it took a lot of work to put this together, only because it was my first time trying to coordinate a trip, and each of us were located in different places. So I was up in Memphis, one girlfriend was in Seattle, and 2 others were in Atlanta. So, you know, we made it work. And you want to plan a girls trip, especially somewhere like Africa, you know, you're going to another continent, you need to make sure that everybody on that trip is gonna be fun. Like, you gotta have people who are fun, people who are flexible, people who've been somewhere before, because sometimes people just don't know how to act. But I'm just saying, you wanna make sure that when you put together a girls trip that everybody's gonna mesh well together. May not be perfect, but you want to have fun. At the end of the day, no drama. We didn't have any of that. Like, it was all to the good. So let's get started. So in this video, I'll walk you through how we started planning the trip once we got to Kenya, some of the things we had to go through to get to our safari camp, how everything turned out, how we got to the Masai Mara. First and foremost, if you actually have someone located in Kenya, I would say reach out to that person so that they can recommend a trusting travel agency. And if you don't have someone on the ground, you definitely want to make sure that you do your due diligence to make sure it's a reputable company and you can actually see their reviews. We initially spent a few days in the city. After those few days were up, then our guide met us at the hotel and we drove to the savannah. So you have at least 2 options. You can fly directly to the Masai Mara, or you can take a road trip like we did. So disclaimer, the road trip takes about 5 to 6 hours. Okay, so we got up early. One morning, our travel guide met us. It was about maybe like 5:30 a.m. Upon arrival, you know, we put all of our stuff in the Land Cruiser. We had to make sure that we went to the mall to get some cash, because going to the safari camp, even though that part was paid for as far as like lodging and all of those things, but actually our entrance reserve actually costs, so we had to go pick up some cash to make sure that we were able to pay for our entrance fee. Okay, it was a little bumpy ride, but it was very, very fun. We got to go through and see lots of different landmarks. Also got to meet people along the way. We of course stopped for like different souvenirs and stuff like that, and then we took lots of naps. One of the most hilarious things was, you know, what is a trip without some kind of drama or something happening that's hilarious? We, you know, got maybe like 30 to 45 minutes away from the Masai Mara, and we stopped to get some snacks and get some souvenirs at a little shop. And how about as soon as we got back in our Land Cruiser, it starts jerking. So we're like, okay, so we don't know anything about this, but we're sure, you know, the guide is gonna figure it out. Actually, we started driving maybe 10, 15 minutes up the way, and the clutch in the Land Cruiser actually went out. So here we are, 4 African-American girls ready for our trip to the safari, and we're out in the middle of nowhere, okay, with a Land Cruiser that's not working. So here we go on the side of the road. Right now we are in some town in Kenya. Stuck on the side of the road, but the situation, trust me, is under control. It's being handled. It's being handled. Someone's here to help. That's what I tell you. Okay, so now that I get out of the truck, everybody wants to get out.
We wanted to get out earlier. Didn't want to get out. We're trying to shake.
So basically, it's monkey see, monkey do. But what do I know?
Right.
Thank you. I'm trying to figure out how is my phone. Any passerbys, you know, they're looking. We see other campers in their own Land Cruisers passing by. So here I am, like sitting in the car, you know, like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Our guide, he was so kind and patient with us, okay? But when he got on the phone to speak to whoever he needed to speak to get another Land Cruiser, I'm not fluent in Swahili, okay? I know enough, but I know he was going off because in about like maybe 30 minutes, we had a mobile mechanic there actually fixing the Land Cruiser that we had. But it was so funny because while we were there, I mean, hey, we had to make the best of it. So what did we do? We pulled out our phones, we pulled out, you know, our JBL, our Bluetooth speaker. We started dancing on the side of the road because why not? I mean, we're out here, we're in Kenya. Who wants to sit in the hot Land Cruiser waiting to see what's gonna happen? Not me, I need to move. And so it's funny because when we first arrived to Nairobi, we took dance class, and the first time I took a dance class with Flex, it was in 2019, okay? He's such a cool guy, always has the best choreography. But anyway, so when we were in the city, he actually taught us a dance. Okay, we sucked. Yeah, we sucked at the dance, but that's not the point. The point is, while we were stuck on the side of the road, we hit the music, we started, you know, dancing or whatever. So that took up some time. And of course, you got like young Masai children passing by. One young gentleman, of course, he came up to speak to us, acting like he wanted to really help, but he just wanted some pictures and tried to follow us on social media.
Hello.
Hi. Jumbo. So he's here, what did you say? This is the tutor. So he's coming, you know, to help, you know, monitor, make sure the situation is under control. Yes. It was really cool because that was our chance to like just be on the ground and just, you know, just feel a part of whatever. If you ever go to Nairobi, I will tell you, you definitely have to take dance lessons with Flex. He is such a cool guy. So now let's talk about the safari itself. So we saw pretty much every animal there was to see except the rhino. The rhino was hiding somewhere, like we did not see the rhino. And when you go on a safari in Kenya, you're looking for the big 5, okay? This is the big 5. We went on multiple game drives. So what is a game drive? That's like, you know, early in the morning, you go eat breakfast, get dressed, and then you hit the Land Cruiser. Okay, so you're out there. Now remember, when you go out in the savannah, like it's not a drive in and drive out. Like you are out acres and acres of land. Guys have like a walkie-talkie. So again, remember, you're looking for the big five. So you're looking for specific animals to say that you actually saw the big five. When you go out on the game drive, you know, you never really know what you're gonna see. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna see a rhino or if I'm gonna see a leopard or one of them little, what are the things from the Lion King? Rafiki, what was he? The what was, not a wildebeest, what was he called? The thing, it looked like a pig. I would say we went on one major game drive each day, and it was so cool. So time for the Great Migration. So this is when the animals come from the Serengeti, you know, and they migrate up through the Masai Mara, and you get to see them. So we didn't actually get a chance to see them cross the river. Like, we saw the wildebeest on the riverbank, but it was like they were too afraid to cross because it was the crocodiles that were huge. It was crocodiles, hippos, they were all in the water. And then here you go, you got the zebras, and then you have the wildebeest. And we were waiting for one, like, really, I guess, confident wildebeest to cross, but that never happened while we were sitting there. But at least we got a chance to film it. And when we were out there, there were other land cruisers, and you have to be really quiet so you don't, you know, freak out the animals. But it was just a really cool experience. I would definitely suggest, you know, a family safari, or, you know, you can go with your boo and have a little, you know, romantic thing or whatever. But it's definitely a unique experience. And you get to learn so much from the guide. Like, they have so much information. They've been doing this stuff for years. Our guide was awesome. So the best time to go on a game drive is early morning or late afternoon. The reason for this is because the animals are usually most active during this time. And I'm gonna be honest, like, when I see, you know, the National Geographic and they show like the lions and stuff, you know, they're looking all scary and running around growling. The lions are lazy, okay? So apparently we were there during their mating season, so really all they do is eat and sleep. So, you know, majority of the time, like when we would see a lion, he's over there taking a nap. Like, sir, can you please get up, because we want to see you. Introduce yourself to us. But we did get to see some lion cubs. Oh, they were so cute, but don't mistake it. Don't mistake it, they're still wild. So there were several instances where, you know, we're in the Land Cruiser, and of course the Land Cruiser is open at the top. I mean, so if the lions wanted to, I mean, they could definitely jump up there, but you know, the guy was real cool. He told us what to do and what not to do, but we were like feet away from a lion and lioness, and it was just interesting to watch. But like I said, the lions got lazy, child. Where did we stay? There are different safari camps, luxury, mid-luxury, is that a thing? So we stayed in a really cool safari camp. There was 4 of us, so there were 2 king beds. It was supposed to be like 4 regular sized beds. So I don't know what happened with that, but by the time we got there, we didn't even care. But it's really cool because the safari camps have like a built-on porch, and it was right along the river, so you could see like the hippos, and you can even hear the hippos at night. So once you go inside of the camp, you know, you have like the living area. So you'll have like the dining table, sofa, and then you have bedrooms, and then you have, you know, a nice bathroom. Everything is always like immaculately decorated. It's safe. There's, you know, security throughout the camp. It's not like you have a gate around the camp. Like you're out there. Okay? So let's just be honest. You're out there. One with the wild. I will say that I got my best sleep while I was sleeping at that safari camp. Like hands down the best sleep I've ever had. So at night, you know, the temperature drops at night. And so they left these, they look like little whoopee cushions, but they were heated. So, you know, you go into your bed. I mean, whew, it just felt so good. That nice little heat pad, it was cool. And then you could just hear the water from the river. You could hear the hippos doing their thing, partying or whatever. I don't know what they do out there. But they're huge, I know that. But yeah, it was like the best sleep. Like honestly, like I need to go right now. What time is it? Another favorite thing that I enjoyed at the safari camp is at night, everybody could sit around the fire. Why did we decide we wanted to try to tell ghost stories around the fire? It was like the worst made up ghost stories ever. I can't remember exactly what my story was about, but it was so trash, but it was fun to just like be out there and just have a good time. We ate well. I mean, the food is amazing wherever you go in Kenya, but like we had a good time in the evening. What to pack and pro tips. So I mentioned some of these things on my first video, but I'm gonna reiterate. When you go on a safari, you're gonna wanna make sure that you dress in layers because early in the morning, late at night, it's gonna be a little cool. But when that sun hits, baby, you wanna take it off because it's gonna be hot, all right? Neutral colors are always best. Wide brim hat or a cap. Sunglasses, definitely have sunscreen because we need to keep this skin nice and smooth. Bug spray or lotion, you know, whatever you prefer. Binoculars. That is one thing I forgot, and I remember sitting in the truck and I'm looking at, you know, some other people that had binoculars. I'm like, dang it, I knew I should have brought some binoculars. So definitely plan to bring binoculars, like those things that you wouldn't typically just have. You may have to go, I'm not gonna say AMAZON because yeah, I'm not gonna say it. You can go somewhere else, find some quality binoculars online and go from there. Refillable water bottle. So our guy was very gracious in bringing bottled water in a nice cooler for us, so we never got thirsty. We were never without water because like once you're out in the savannah and it's like lunchtime, you're not driving back to the camp. Like that's hours away anyway. It's really cool because your guide, or at least our guide, he got us in a nice area where he could monitor, you know, surroundings just to make sure, you know, we didn't get stolen. We set up our lunch. We just had a really good time, like just sitting out and just being able to look at nature and to, you know, feel the cool breeze. I mean, it was amazing. I'm telling you. It honestly, you really can't put it into words. You have to experience it for yourself. So when I'm done with this video, I want you to start looking up tickets, okay? Look up them tickets. Satisfy your curiosity. How much is the ticket? How much does it cost to go on a safari? Just start looking up just some basic things. A pro tip is going to be to bring some cash. You're gonna wanna, you know, tip your guide. the servers, you want to make sure that you're able to tip them because they're going to be going, you know, above and beyond whatever they're supposed to be doing just to accommodate you and make you feel welcome. After the conclusion of our safari, we traveled back to Nairobi. We spent the last few nights. I wanted to make sure that I met up with, you know, some of my Kenyan friends that I wasn't able to really spend much time with throughout the trip. This was like our last time to, you know, go to the mall, do some shopping, go out to the club. Now, I don't even do all this stuff when I'm back in the States. I do nightclub, but Kenya has some nice nightlife, you know, really fun, safe, you know, so we went out, did some of those things. We had a girls' night where we ate dinner and we all dressed in some variation of purple. It was really nice. We were on a rooftop restaurant, so really cool things, and I'll probably like share some of those experiences. If you're thinking about a girls trip that's a little different, a little outside of your norm, definitely put a Kenyan safari girls trip on your list. Drop your comments, drop your questions if you feel like you want to plan your own safari trip, girls trip. I've also included a free itinerary, a full like 9-10 day trip to Kenya, and it's similar to the itinerary that we actually had for our girls trip. So this just kind of gives you an idea of how you can plan a girls trip in a place like Kenya. So be sure to download that, and it's going to be in the description below. Thank you for watching. Please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, okay? And feel free to share this with friends who are interested in travel outside of the country, particularly in Africa, particularly Kenya. Stay tuned for my next video. Thank you.